Who's there? Who's there?
They thought it was just another peaceful night under the stars, until the forest went silent. What happened next? Well, let's just say, not everything that watches you in the woods has eyes you can see. Welcome back to Silent Nightmare, where every shadow has a story, and every story might just be real. The Hunting Public is a channel dedicated to real hunting adventures. It follows a group of hunters as they document their experiences in the wild. In this particular episode, dated September 25th, 2022, Nick and Ted woke up early, aiming to reach their hunting spot undetected. They waited there for some time, but with no activity, they decided to move later in the afternoon. Their new destination was a secluded public area, hoping for better luck. After settling into position, they began another round of waiting, but what happened next was something completely unexpected and terrifying.
Alright, so me and Dad are set up. We ended up getting almost a mile and a half back in here. We're walking this ridge top like we were talking about. It ended up being 3 super fresh scrapes. I mean, they're just like completely pawed down. No leaves sitting on them or nothing. So we jumped up in a tree. Pretty dang high up in a tree. Yeah. Real high. And we're actually like directly above one of the scrapes.
At first, it sounded like an angry man shouting. It was unclear whether he was just venting or yelling at someone nearby. But then things escalated.
Right before that last gunshot, it sounded like a truck revving up or something, like in gravel, throwing gravel or something. Yeah. And then that gunshot was like, that one sounded like a rifle. Yeah. That last one, all the other ones sounded like a handgun. That last one, like, pow.
You could make out a few things they were saying. It wasn't good.
Things we won't repeat on here, but it was like blood-curdling screaming. I've never witnessed anybody screaming like that. Something not good's going on. Imagine if we would have ended up orbing them on it, how close we would be to that.
We might have been able to see it. That's terrifying.
That is wicked.
Well, hopefully nobody got shot, but sure sounded like somebody did.
Sounds like somebody might have got killed over there.
The man screamed, followed by several gunshots, and then silence. Total silence. And this wasn't just anywhere. It was deep in a remote part of the woods. Nick and Ted didn't waste any time. They left the area immediately, made it back to their vehicle, and called the authorities.
I've heard some stuff that I feel needs to be reported to the police department. I was hunting, me and a buddy were hunting, and at about 6:45, we heard gunshots, which is not uncommon, but then for 30 minutes straight or so, there was lots of screaming and just people, obscenities, and it sounded like something really bad was going on over there, and there was 20 or more gunshots ended up happening, and then I could hear vehicles taking off and coming to a halt, and we didn't know what to do, and we had no service, so we're trying to report and see if anything had been reported about there.
A few days later, they followed up with the police to see if there were any updates, but the investigation didn't turn up anything, and the case was eventually closed. Now, it leaves you wondering, was it really a murder and the person had enough time to hide the evidence? Or maybe it was someone in such intense rage that they just shouted into the void and fired off shots to release it all. Either way, it's chilling to think about. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and to thank you for being part of this horror-loving community, we're giving away a special gift once we hit that milestone. If you haven't already, subscribe now, turn on notifications, and stay tuned, because things are about to get even scarier. Meet James, Michelle, and their son, Maximus, the beloved family behind the YouTube channel, The Traveling Tailor, known for their stealth van camping adventures and off-the-beaten-path explorations. This time, the trio set out for a relaxing weekend in the scenic Peak District. But what was meant to be a peaceful escape quickly turned into something far more disturbing. After arriving at a secluded forest spot, far from the usual crowds, they set up camp. Maximus was playing just outside the van when something strange happened. James suddenly heard loud barking. Alarmed, he rushed outside, only to be met with a chilling sight. Maximus stood frozen, face to face with a woman gripping a large German shepherd by its neck. Her eyes were locked onto the child, and she made a threatening gesture toward him. James immediately stepped in, placing himself between the woman and his son. Though she continued to advance, there was something off. James didn't feel physically threatened. After a tense standoff, the woman finally turned and walked away into the woods. Shaken, James and Maximus retreated back into the van, trying to make sense of what had just happened. But the unease was only beginning. Not long after, another figure appeared.
You. No, can I help you?
My child and my wife are in this van. Can you step back from my door, please?
Right,
now. No, step back out of my personal space. Step back out of my personal space. The way he spoke and swore, knocking on the door and coming right in my face. You're a disgrace for coming up to my child.
Don't say that.
Don't start. Don't start. Don't start.
A man, aggressively pounding on the van's window. When James opened the door to confront him, the man barged in, yelling and causing chaos inside. James didn't hesitate. He stood his ground and forced the intruder out. It turned out the man was the woman's companion, and from the way he acted, it was clear they were looking for trouble.
The woman with the shep, and then number two, the old fella who clearly wanted a fight. I mean, the way he went up to the window, and then wouldn't move back out of the space, swearing in front of Maximus, shouting in front of Maximus, and yes, you know, I am guilty of responding, but what are you supposed to do when someone will not step out of your doorway and is leaning in and trying to intimidate you, pointing their finger in your face and then threatening me out here? You've got to tell them this just isn't right.
Eventually, the two strangers left, but the damage was done. The encounter left the family rattled, and questions lingered. Who were these people? Why did they approach Maximus like that? It's a chilling reminder of how vulnerable we can be in the places we least expect. If James hadn't acted when he did, the outcome could have been far worse. On January 21st, 2024, Chris, a popular YouTuber known for his eerie explorations of haunted places, embarked on yet another chilling adventure. This time, he headed to one of America's most haunted woods, the infamous Puke Forest. Alone and undeterred, Chris set out to camp near an abandoned farmhouse, a property owned by fellow YouTuber CJ. As night fell, Chris arrived at the dense, foreboding forest, the perfect backdrop for his latest eerie expedition. He set up camp and began investigating the farmhouse, hoping to make contact with any lingering spirits. But then, something unsettling happened.
Tell me that? Did you make a noise? Do you enjoy me being here with you? So, I don't know. Just very uncomfortable, you know? Ooh! Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the actual fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. We just moved that door. What the actual fuck just happened? Yo, there's nothing going on here. There's no tomfoolery. I don't understand how that just happened. My mind playing tricks on me? What the fuck was that? That was so weird.
A door slammed shut, despite Chris leaving it wide open. There was no wind, no draft, nothing. The sudden noise sent chills down his spine.
What the fuck? Who is upstairs? Hello? I pray that was outside. I literally pray that was outside. Bro, what the hell is going on in the house right now? I'm gonna be all alone in my tent, so feel free to come bother me tonight. Keep me company. Yeah, I don't know if I can do this all night, guys. This is wild.
Unease gripped him, but he gathered his courage and pressed on. Chris ventured upstairs, convinced the noise had come from above. But what happened next, he wasn't prepared for.
What the f***? What the f***? Yo, f*** this. This place.
Please don't stop.
Yeah, I'm not stopping. I'm out of here. F*** this. This place, dude. I f*** this place.
A scream pierced the silence. Terrified, Chris bolted outside, sprinting back to his tent in a desperate bid for safety. But the night's terrors were far from over.
Sorry, guys. Pick it back on for a sec. Your boy is not doing this again. Zip, damn it.
Lying in his tent, Chris tried to rest. But strange noises kept him awake.
Yes, but if anything happens, I'll record in a little bit when I go to bed. And yeah. Is that just my imagination? Or did something just happen over there? Did you guys hear that? Is there like someone like almost like poked the front of the tent? Alright, my heart rate just went from a nice 69 beats per minute to 148. What the f, guys? This is gonna be a long night. I thought everything was fine, but no. Every time I think it's good.
Finally, exhaustion takes over, but not for long.
Hello? What the fuck was that? Hello? My light died. I just heard the weirdest noise. I don't know. Something woke me up.
Scratches, whispers, the rustling of leaves nearby. Eventually, exhaustion took over. But not for long. He was jolted awake by more noises, this time right outside his tent.
Car alarm? Oh. What was that? Oh.
feeling of being watched was unmistakable. Confused and unnerved, Chris stepped out to confront the source of the noise. But little did he know, this decision might come with consequences.
What the fuck was that? It sounded like someone's car, but there's no one here. Like, I don't see any camera notifications. I don't know, guys. I don't actually know. It is almost 6 o'clock. I slept a decent amount tonight, so I think I'm just gonna go home. Just gonna go home, maybe sleep for a couple more hours, and just, I don't know, guys. Like, I mean, I stayed a decent amount. I didn't stay the whole night, but call it a foul, call it whatever you want. I'm gonna pack my shit. I'm gonna go. So, what was that? All right. I'm getting in the car. I'm done.
Finally, overwhelmed by fear, Chris had enough. He bolted for his truck and sped away, fleeing the haunted woods as fast as he could. Though he escaped safely, one question remains. What truly haunted him that night? Meet Jasco, a fearless YouTuber known for diving headfirst into the unknown. Tonight, he's facing a new and chilling challenge, venturing into a forest drenched in eerie local folklore. The townsfolk whisper about satanic rituals and demonic activity that allegedly haunt these woods. Joining Jasco is his trusted friend, Benjamin. Rain pours steadily as night falls, setting a perfect backdrop for a terrifying adventure. As the two settle inside their tent, Jasco opens a letter from a viewer who once explored the same forest. The atmosphere grows increasingly tense, and before long, strange and inexplicable things begin to happen.
And we set up the campfire, we were laughing nervously, but it felt as if something or someone was watching us the entire time. 9 p.m. As it got dark, so I'm assuming this was probably like summertime, you know, because it gets dark around 9 o'clock in the summertime. So
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. So as it got dark, we decided to look for this graveyard that people spoke about. Throughout our walk, we would notice strange... What the f*** was that? What the f*** was that? That was really weird. I don't... Wait, no. Literally listen, man. Something's approaching us right now.
Okay. We had the machete?
In the car.
Do you have the light that's a knife?
In the car.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did, bro.
You heard it again?
It sounds like... First off, what I heard, it sounded like a man's voice. And... Okay, story time can wait right now.
Something out there, dude.
Something or someone's out there. Bro, please tell me you hear that.
I hear that, so what is it?
Bro, I'm actually scared right now. Like, this is actually horrifying.
Yeah.
You guys might not be able to hear what we're hearing right now. Bro, it's... Okay, let me grab the camera for a sec. Look at this. It is so misty out here. I mean, you guys probably can't even see much. You see anything? Oh, dude, I don't like this. In the slightest. Oh, Well, I guess we finish the story and we go out there because we gotta make sure that we're safe. If we're gonna stay here the whole night, we gotta make sure we're safe.
A strange noise echoes just outside the tent. Footsteps, or something much worse, drawing closer. Trying to stay composed, they continue reading the letter. But the unease is unmistakable. The night takes a sinister turn.
Hey, there's some weird shit going on here, you know? Oh! The f*** was that? Who's there? Bro,
We didn't tell him the weird
no.
part about tonight.
What happened? What happened? Bro, I'm fucking freaked.
The rain only intensifies their fear. They begin to suspect someone might be lurking around their camp. In an attempt to stay undetected, they turn off their lights and camera, listening in the dark. But when they finally switch the camera back on, something terrifying is captured.
What the fuck was that?
I swear to God, on everything I loved, the tent just went. We literally seen it ripple, almost as if like, bro, my heart right now. Bro, what the f was that?
I'm gonna try to assume
it was just rain?
That was just rain.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down for that.
Paralyzed by fear, they don't dare step outside. They try to calm each other, blaming the noise on the weather, yet both know something far more sinister may be out there. Eventually, they crawl into their sleeping bags, hoping to catch some rest. But that hope is short-lived.
If anything happens while we sleep, we'll be there. So, good night, guys.
What?
Something just hit the fucking tent. Who's there? Who's there? Ben, something just hit the tent.
Minutes later, they're jolted awake by something brushing against their tent. Whatever, or whoever, is out there isn't done with them. The boys are rattled, fear creeping in like the cold night air. Then comes the most chilling part. Footage from the external camera reveals disturbing sounds and unsettling activity. The unmistakable noise of someone clearing their throat just outside the tent. Jasco immediately wakes Benjamin. Just when you think it can't get worse, it does.
Guys, I have to be quiet right now, but there is someone walking around our tent. That was a voice. That was a man's voice. Should we say something?
Who's there? We're not looking for any company, so you just leave.
They finally make the difficult decision to leave the tent and confront whatever is out there. But it's a choice they'll come to regret.
All right, Ben, I'll be right back, okay?
All right, brother, good luck.
Who's out there? Hello? Hello? Oh my God, it's so hard to see. What? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Hey. What the fuck? What the Jazz!
What? Ben?
Jazz!
What?
Come here! Someone at the tent!
I'm coming. What's wrong?
Yo, there's someone at the...
What?
There was someone at the tent. There's someone at the tent.
Here?
Yes. Hey, someone like grabbed the zipper.
Bro, what?
Someone grabbed the zipper to the tent.
Hold on, I thought I just saw... Who's over there?
I would get inside. Jazz?
What?
I would get inside.
Okay. Can you open it?
Yeah.
Okay. Something in that direction, bro, I'm telling you. Something or someone. What did you hear?
It sounded like someone was grabbing the zipper of the door right there.
front. Are you sure they like...
I'm
Okay, then we should get out of here. We should. Get out of here.
Yeah, right now?
Get the out of here.
Panicked and terrified, the two friends flee the campsite, leaving all their gear behind. 2 days later, Jasco returns alone to retrieve their belongings. What he finds is disturbing.
When we saw our campsite, we noticed that it was completely destroyed. Not only was it destroyed, but our tent had holes in it, as if someone was cutting or gashing holes into the tent for whatever reason. And all in all, it was just a very, very unsettling feeling.
Deep slashes in the tent fabric, as if someone attacked it with a knife. It's now clear they weren't just being scared. Someone, possibly a real psychopath, was stalking them. But what were their intentions? Was it simply to terrify, or was something even darker planned? This exploration leaves viewers with more questions than answers, and a haunting suspicion that something unholy truly lingers in the shadows of that cursed forest. This video comes from the channel Off the Walls After Hours. What began as a lighthearted overnight trip into the woods quickly took a turn into something far more unsettling. The night started off like any other adventure. A group of friends hiked deep into a wooded area, bringing along tents, food, fire-starting gear, and tools to build a simple bridge across a narrow stream. As daylight faded, they focused on constructing the makeshift log crossing, joking, laughing, and working together to drag branches and boards into place. Spirits were high, but as night fell, the forest began to feel different.
We need a couple more like that, dude. Oh, yeah. We could definitely get that long one out now, though. Right there. You literally laid it right on that tip. Look at that.
Perfect.
Right there. We need a couple more. Boom, we're done. We get across for tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We got to just keep moving it that way, towards Keegan.
It's not out. There's a...
What the was that? Here, help Jordan. Help Jordan. Keep moving it this way.
You got from the bottom?
It's literally right.
Bottom?
Move it this way. Move it this way. Boom. Perfect. It's coming. It's coming.
The first sign that something was off came during the bridge build. A loud, deep boom echoed through the trees. At first, they brushed it off. Maybe a branch snapping or a tree falling in the distance. But the sound felt heavy, unnatural.
All right, so we made it across that wild ass shit. We are about to set up a tent, probably on these rocks, unfortunately, because there's not much to go. Oh, there goes my water bottle. All right, so we got the fire started. Buddy brought hand warmers. Don't think we'll need them now. It's pretty nice out tonight.
Yeah, it's beautiful out, boys. Got the fire going. Cheers to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Although, a bit ago, I'm gonna explain what we heard.
We heard a big boom above us, which we think of
Well,
as
I don't
tracks.
know if it was above us, bro. Real shit. 100% feel like that came from behind us.
Oh, that's lighting up good.
Oh, yeah. The boom was weird, wasn't it, Tony?
Yes, it was. Definitely weird. Freaked us all out.
Yeah, don't know about.
Not wind, not animals. The sounds came in short, deliberate patterns. Only a few picked up on it at first, but soon the whole group noticed. Then came the moment that left them silent. A single sharp whistle cut through the air from somewhere off the trail. It wasn't a sound you could easily explain away. It was intentional, wrong, and then the rock.
That's where it just hurts. Tony, that was bad time.
Tony, you almost fell off. There's nothing.
Nothing at all. What is that?
It might be just a creaking, bro. It's old.
That's not a creak, though.
It sounds like something's getting thrown.
It sounds like something walking on it, you know? Yeah. Tony.
That's Tony.
Was that you? Tony. Don't lie. Tony. Tony, don't fucking lie. Something threw a rock. Bro, promise.
That was him.
Promise.
It came from that way, dog. There was wood crackling over there.
Keegan, or Tony, get up.
No, it's the fire. It's the fire crackling. We just heard it again.
Dude, it bounced off the metal.
While standing near the tents, they heard a sudden clang, metal being struck. Not a falling branch, not a pine cone. Something heavy, like a rock thrown hard, bouncing off one of their supply bins, or maybe the grill. They spun around with their lights, expecting to see an animal in the bushes, but the forest was still.
I did not hear it.
Like that, like... You burned yourself again? Yeah, I'm on my shoe. My shoe is bothering. Damn it, Tony.
I hear talking in the distance. 100% just heard talking in the distance. You hear that? I don't hear it anymore.
I don't know if I'm tripping, but I feel like I keep hearing a faint whistling. You're tripping, that might be a car. You didn't hear that? What did it sound like? Yes, I go. Yeah. You did hear that? Yeah. I keep hearing that.
Silent. Theories started flying. Could it have been the wind? A freak coincidence? But no one really believed that anymore. Something, or someone, was out there.
I think we're tripping down. Let's go back down. We gotta be tripping. Let's go back down. Okay. So, as we were heading down, we heard another weird squealing noise. We just keep hearing noises. It's weird.
They turned back immediately. None of them wanted to be further from camp if that sound came closer. Back at the fire, the mood had shifted. Laughter didn't return so easily. A few tried to joke, but most just sat in silence, listening, waiting, hoping the night would pass without another sign. They didn't catch anything on camera, no clear sounds, no undeniable proof, but they all left with the same conclusion. Something was out there. What do you think was the most disturbing encounter on this list? Have you ever experienced something unexplainable while camping? Let us know in the comments below.